Testing, 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 testing. All right, we're rolling. Um, testing, testing. All right, we're rolling. All right, subpart A, reserve. Subpart B, specifications inside container linings. 178.33, specification 2P, inner non-refillable metal receptacles. 178.33, 1 compliance. A, required in all details. B, reserved. 78.332, type size, single trip inside container must be seamless with a seamless weld. Soldered brace, double seam swedge, swedge. Maximum capacity for the container of the glass shall not exceed 1 liter. The maximum inside diameter shall not exceed 3 inches. 178.33.3, inspection by competent inspector reserve. 178.33.4, duties inspector to inspect the material of the completed containers with it in this test and to reject defective materials in containers. Be reserved. 178.33.5, material. Uniform quality steel plate, black plate, electro tin plate, hot dip tin plate, tier plate. Other commercial accepted can make plate, non-ferrous metal, uniforming drawn quality. B, material seamless crack, laminations, other injections, defects not authorized. 178.33.6 by manufacturer by manufacturer method will use assure the uniformity complete with the dirt and the scale to be removed with the necessary with the defective the assembly likely to be weakened with the finished container appreciable, reasonable smooth with the uniform surface of the finish. B, seamless with the following: 1, circumferential seam by welding, swedging, brazing, soldering, double seaming. 2, side seams by welding, brazing, soldering, and C ends within shall be pressure design. 178.337.7, wall thickness, minimum wall thickness for the end of the container, 7,000 of an inch. 178.338.8, test. One out of each of the 25,000 containers left that successfully produced per day shall be pressure tested. The construction may be not burst below 240 psi gauge. The container test should be complete with the end of assembly. Each use of the 25,000 containers left successfully produced per day with it shall constitute or allow the test container shall fail with a lot with shall be rejected. The additional container that may be selected with a random subject test under failure occur with these containers shall be complete with the end of the assembly, and should any of the containers be test fail with a lot, enter a lot of the most rejected. All containers constituting a lot shall be like material size, design, construction, finishing, quality. 178.33.9 marking by means of printing, telethograph, and embossing and stamping. Each container must be marked and shown. .2p name and symbol of the marking packaging specified in paragraph A1 of the section symbol. If you register with the Associated Administrators, be reserved. 178.33a specification 2Q inner non-refillable metal receptacles. 178.33a compliance required in all detail reserved. 178.33a2 type and size single trip inside containers must be seamless with a seam welding, soldered, brazed, double seams, wedge of the maximum capacity for the containers shall not exceed 1 liter. The maximum inside diameter shall not exceed 3 inches. 178.33a3 by component inspector reserved. 178.33a4 duties of inspector. Inspect material of the complete containers, witness test and reflected defective materials containers. B, reserved. 178.33a5 material uniform quality steel plate, black plate, electro tin plate, dip tan plate, turn plate, other commercial except for the packaging plate with an non-ferrous material uniform drawing quality. B, material seam cracks and limited lamination of the injurious defects not authorized. 178.33a6 manufactured by applying for the method will uniformly complete with the containers, dirt and scale to be removed necessary to defect assembly. Acceptable with likely to weaken the finished container, appreciable, reasonable, smooth and uniform surface of finish required. B, seams when you've the meeting of the following: 1, circumferential seams by welding, swedging, brazing, soldering, double seaming. Seams side seam by welding, bracing, soldering. Ends of the ends shall be pressure design. 178.33a7 wall thickness. Minimum wall thickness for any container should be 8,000 of an inch. 178.3a8 test one out of each of the lot with 25 containers left successfully produced per day shall be pressure tested. The destruction may not burst them in 270 psi gauge pressure container test should be complete with the end of the assembled. Each such 25,000 containers less successfully produced per day with the shall constitute allowed if the test container shall fail with the lot shall be rejected. 10 additional containers may be selected with a random subject test. Under the failure occurred with the container shall be complete with the aim of the assemble. Any of the containers any 10 containers that test fail with a lot must be rejected. All containers constituting a lot shall be like more material size, design, construction, finishing, quality. 178.33.A9 marking. By means of printing, lithograph, embossing, stamping, each container must be marked with a show of the dot 2Q, name, symbol of the person making the part mark specified in paragraph A1 of the section symbol. If you did not register with the Associate Administrator, be reserved. 178.33B specification 2.7S for inner non-refillable plastic tanks. 178.33B1 compliance required in all details reserved. 178.33B2 type inside single trip inside containers maximum capacity for the containers class shall not exceed 1 liter. Maximum inside diameter shall not exceed 3 inches. 178.33B3 inspection by component inspector reserved. 178.33B1 duties inspector to inspect material of the completed containers. Witness test rejected defective material of the container reserved. 178.33B5 material of the receptacle must construct with polyethanol teratrophyllate, polyethanol naphthalate, and polyamide 9-liner blend at PHD, PN, ethyl vinyl alcohol, and nylon material seamless crack laminations and other injurious defects are forbidden. 178.33B6 manufacturer. Each container manufacturer thermoplastic process will be assure uniformity with the complete with the container not use the material other than production residual regrinding. Same manufacturing process may be used. Packaging must be adequate, resistant of the degradation covered either with the substance contained with the ultraviolet radiation. Be reserved. 178.33B7 design qualification drop test. Ensure the creepy does not affect the ability of the container to rain. The concept of each of the new design must drop. The test is for all 3 groups of the 25 fill with the containers must drop 5.9 feet with the top of the rigid non-silent flat horizontal surface. The one group must be conditioned at 100 degrees Fahrenheit 26. Second group at 1,100 hours 122 degrees Fahrenheit. Third group at 131 degrees Fahrenheit prior to the drop test closure with the sealing component. With the container must be not be protected during the testing orientation of the test. Container drop statistically random by direct impact of the valve and the valve closure must be avoided. Criteria for passing drop test of the containers must not break the leak of the design. Qualification testing must be complete with the design manufacturer new mold if there's 90 chamber the property with the material construction. 178.33B8 production testing. Burst testing. 1 out of each of the 5,000 hours left of the successfully produced per day must be pressure tested. Destruction must not be burst. 240 psi containers tested must be completed in time with the transportation. Each of the 5,000 containers or less successfully produced per day shall constitute a lot of the testing containers shall fail. A lot of shall be rejected and 10 additional containers may be selected with random subject. Test during failure occur with the container shall be complete intended for the transportation. Should any of the 10 containers should be tested and the entire lot must be rejected. All containers must constitute a lot shall be like material size, design, construction, finish, quality. 178.33B9 marking. Each container must be clearly marked, permanently marked to show. Dot 2S name and symbol of the person marking with the marking shape specified in paragraph A1 of the section symbol you that might register with the Associated Administrator reserve. 178.33C specification 2P inner non-refillable the metal receptacle rare variation. 178.33C1 compliance required in all details. 178.33C variation. Notwithstanding the variation provided by the section, each container must otherwise adopt 2P of the container with accordance with 178.33 with the following conditions. So apply the under variation 1. Manufacturer side seam not permitted with the ends within shall be designed with the withstand pressure. B equipped with pressure relief system, trim venting, the relief dome expansion design with the function proper prior to bursting out of the container. Testing 1. Out of each of the lot of the 25,000 containers or less successfully produced daily, complete with the engines assembled without the pressure relief system assembly should be pressure tested as under gauge pressure must not burst at 240 psi gauge. For the containers with the pressure relief system described in paragraph A of the section assembled with a failure to location other than pressure relief system rejected a lot, the containers will at any expansion device lot be rejected the container burst prior to the bulking device. Each 25,000 container less successfully produced per day shall constitute a lot if the test container shall fail. The lot shall be rejected. Otherwise, 10 additional containers with each of the containers designed produced by may be selected with random subjected test. Testing containers shall be complete with the ends of the assembled. Should any of the containers test fail, with the entire lot must be rejected. All containers constituting a lot shall be like material side of the design, construction, finish, quality, marking means of the bringing lithograph, embossing, stamping. Each container must be marked .2P1 with the name and symbol of the person marking with the symbol of the youth and the registered and associated. Administrator 178.33D specification 2Q inner non-refillable metal receptacle variations. 178.33D1 compliance required in all details. 178.33D2 variation notwithstanding the variation provided paragraph. Each container must otherwise conform with the D2Q container with the 178.33A with the following conditions also apply with the variation 1. Type size of the maximum capacity for the container for the class may not exceed 400 of the liter and with a maximum inside diameter shall not exceed 2.1. Manufacturer end of the top of the container must be designed with a pressure relief system consisting of the residual screw over the top seam. Bottom of the container must be designed to bulk with a compressor greater than bulk with the top of the buckle within the vents. Wall thickness. The minimum wall thickness of the end of the container is 85 10,000 inch. Two containers or one without pressure relief system and one without, each of the 25,000 less successfully produced per day shall be pressure tested direction destruction at the gauge pressure of the container with the out of the pressure relief system must not be burst at 320 psi gauge. The container assembled with the pressure relief system as described in paragraph B of this section must be tested destruction. The bottom of the container must be buckled at pressure greater than pressure at which top buckles and vents. Each such 25,000 containers less successfully produced per day shall constitute a lot with the test container shall fail with the loss should be rejected other than 10 additional parts of the pairs container of the beginning shift of the random subject for the test on the failure occur with any of the container of the test fail with the entire lot must be rejected. All containers constituting a lot shall be full like on the material side of the design, construction, finish, quality. Marking by any means of printing a lithograph, embossing, stamping. Each container must be marked .2Q1, the name and the symbol of the person marking with a symbol with you that it may be registered association administrator. 178.33D variation 2. Notwithstanding variation provided in paragraph, each of the container must authorize the form with a .2Q container in accordance with 178.33A. The following conditions also under variation 2. Manufacturer M of the end shall be designed with the pressure for the container equipped with the pressure for the release system preventing or release dome expansion device designed buckle prior to the burst of the container. Test. One out of each of the allowed with the 25 containers less successfully produced per day with shell pressure test. The destruction area at the gauge pressure must burst at below 270 psi gauge. For container pressure relief system described in paragraph A of the section assembled the varied location other than the pressure relief system will reject the lot. Each such 25,000 containers less successfully produced per day shall constitute a lot if the test for the container shall fail the lot more than rejected. Otherwise, 10 additional containers each container design produced may be selected for random subjective testing. These containers shall be complete with the ends assembled. Should any of the containers and test fail, the entire lot must be rejected. All containers constituting shall be like the material side of the design, construction, finishing, quality, marking by means of the printing, lithograph, embossing, stamping. Each container must be marked .2Q2 with the name and the symbol of the person marking with the symbol as you with the must be registered and associated administrators. Subpart C, specification for cylinders.